What's up everyone, this is Music Theory Help from Instagram, and I'm here today to show you the very first basics of music theory, because many people forget about it or don't know anything about it. You can watch the last video if you want. And so today we'll cover how a piano looks and the layout of a piano, why you need to know it even though you play another instrument, or if you play piano then you probably already know it, and enharmonic equivalents, which is just a confusing word you'll understand. Alright, so this is how a piano looks in my head, and it's the layout of a piano, and I always think of it as groupings, sort of. I think that this is 2, and then there's 3, and then there's 2, and then there's 3. The note before these 2 is a C, and that's where most instruments think of their home and C. This is a C, and then if we just continue on these white keys, we just go up, D, E, F, G, then we start over the alphabet, because after G we don't have the other letters of the alphabet, we just go back to A. And then we keep on filling in, and you can see that this note is a C before these 2, the same as this is a C before these 2. And then we just continue like that. It's important to know that sometimes there's a black key in between of the notes, like in between C and G. There's a black key, but in between E and F, there's not a black key. And that's called a whole step, and that's a half step. And that's important to know. And that's one of the reasons why we need to know the piano. It's also very easy when you start thinking about chords to think through the piano. And it has helped me with all the instruments that I play to know the piano. So that's why you need it. And it's also common knowledge. Third one is enharmonic equivalents. I'll write it up. Fancy word. Alright, so enharmonic equivalents. Now I regret that I erased the piano. I'm gonna make a small one very quick. The enharmonic equivalents is basically notes that have 2 names. And in this case, because this is a C, as we learned, this would be called a C sharp. And sharp means that you lift it up to the next note. So a C sharp would be this. And sharp is written as this, and flat is written as this. And flat means that you lower a note. So I always think that the flat one lays flat, and that means that it lays like flat down. I always think flat is down. So this is both a C sharp and a D flat. It's the same note. Sounds the same. Different names, same note. And then there's also the special ones with, for instance, here there's a E and an F, and in between there it's only a half step, right? So what if I say E sharp? What does that mean? There's no note in between, so what is E sharp? And this really bothers me still when I learned and right now, because E sharp is an F. It sounds like an F, but it isn't an F. It's an E sharp, which is very confusing when reading your notes as well, as we'll talk about later. And E sharp is the F, which is kind of confusing, but I think you'll get the hang of it. It's the same as the F flat is the E. And then you just continue like that through the whole piano. And that's basically lesson 1. And we'll talk more next week.